Welcome to the Tech Show. I'm Sonya Gavankar. Today, Christina Rubino Babbot talks to a company focused on military efficiency in defense tech. Our friends at PC Mag have tips to keep your data safe while crossing borders. And we have what will become the first of many parts of my superhero suit in Take My Money. All that and more coming up on the Tech Show. Now it's time for the latest. Amazon briefly suspended its delivery drone program after two Prime Air delivery drones struck a crane in Arizona, resulting in substantial damage and a fire. The two Mk-30 drones crashed into the boom of a crane in Tucson, Arizona, near Phoenix, according to the Federal Aviation Administration. No injuries were reported. Helicopter video from CNN affiliate KTVK and KPHO shows the remains of more than 80 pounds of drone shattered across the ground. Amazon opened the Tucson Drone Delivery Center earlier this year, enabling people living nearby to get purchases weighing less than 5 pounds delivered in less than an hour. I don't think that I need my deodorant faster than an 80-pound drone needs to rush it to me, but you do you, Arizona. A benefit that's been available to Amazon Prime members since 2009 has also crashed. This month, the online retailer and streaming video giant is putting an end to a service used by customers to share shipping services across multiple addresses. That means if you want free shipping for you have to stop using your Nana's Prime account, or you just need to move in with her. The program previously allowed Prime members to share their free 2-day shipping benefits with one other adult, even if that person lived at a different address. Invitees who did not live in the same home as the primary account holder will now need to purchase their own Prime membership to retain this benefit. We can still use the Amazon Family program as the primary method for sharing benefits. The Family program allows sharing a wider range of perks, including Prime Day access, Prime Video, and exclusive deals, but you still need to share an address. Apple announced recently that they are removing from its App Store apps that alert the presence of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, in people's local area. The move comes as the Trump administration's crackdown on undocumented immigrants shows no signs of abating and follows Attorney General Pam Bondi's contacting Apple demanding that they remove the ICE Block app from their App Store, per a statement she gave to Fox News Digital. ICE Block developer Joshua Aaron told the BBC in an interview that he developed the app that's been downloaded over 1 million times to keep people safe amid widespread ICE raids. It is not yet clear whether the app, notably Google Maps and Waze, that track law enforcement activity will be affected. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
In a world driven by technology, art is evolving fast. Coded, immersive, and alive, it's breaking free of the frame. And in places like Dubai, this brave new frontier is taking shape.
My heritage and my background as an Emirati provides me with content for my artwork, because in order to produce authentic artwork, you need to have lived experience. My artwork takes you through a specific time period in the Gulf in the early 2000s. I wanted to use the internet itself as a medium. I wanted to highlight my own people's internet culture, which I deeply connect with and I grew up on, and it had a major influence in the sort of artwork that I ended up creating. I get to play, and play is important to me as an artist.
Using technology as their medium, artists blur the line between art and play.
Halloween is one of the most exciting nights of the year for kids, but it's also a time when parents start thinking about how to keep everyone safe while trick-or-treating after dark. Joining us today is tech and family safety expert and mother of 4, Marines Duarte, who is partnering with Verizon to share how technology can help families stay safe, connected, and happy this Halloween. Hello, Marines.
Hi, thank you for having me.
What are parents most concerned about for Halloween?
Well, you mentioned it. Halloween is a magical night. Our kids expect and anticipate this night, but at the same time, it could be a little bit stressful for us parents. Especially, we could get concerned about getting dark, kids running around in the streets, the traffic, also not being able to reach them quickly. But that's exactly what I love about Verizon, that has created tools to help parents navigate all of these challenges that we face when parenting in the digital world. Verizon Family app is designated to help families stay connected and safe. I love the location sharing feature because it let us monitor kids' location in a map so we can know where they are. We give them independence and also gives us peace of mind.
What are parents most concerned about for Halloween?
Other option for little kids, I love the Gizmo Watch because it allows our kids to be out there, but at the same time it has a safe area. When they leave that safe area, it will send us an alert. Also for older kids, I would say if they have a smartphone, the Verizon Family Plus with unlimited location sharing, driving insights per teen, screen time management, and many, many other benefits that help us have that balance between being safe, having peace of mind, then being independent without taking away the fun of the night.
Where can we go for more information?
You can go to verizon.com/family.
Thanks, Marines.
Thank you. Happy Halloween.
We'll be back with more of the Tech Show in just a minute. Stay tuned. Welcome back. This week in Defense Tech, Christina Rubino Babbot chats with OpsLab CEO Arun Nyer, whose company helps the military become as streamlined and mission-ready as it possibly can be.
Well, thanks, Arun. Thanks for being here with me today on the Tech Show. We appreciate your time. Yeah. I've heard about your company over the past few years, and it's my understanding that you're solving problems for some pilots having to do with scheduling. Can you tell me more about that and specifically try to hone in on what problem you're solving?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here. I'm pretty excited about this talk. We at OpsLab specialize in air operations optimization, which in practice means we build software for managing flight operations. And we got started in the commercial airline sector. So that's where we first looked at how the airlines are managing their day-to-day flights, and more so how they handle their crew scheduling. That's kind of where we got really started. And then about 5 years ago, we got the chance to showcase what we had built for the airline sector to the armed forces, for the US Air Force mainly. Mm-hmm. And that's where we learned that what we had been building for the airlines could be applied in the armed forces as well, starting with the US Air Force. And the biggest problem we saw there was the day-to-day flight operations were actually managed by the pilots themselves, which was a very shocking experience because in the airline sector, they had army of schedulers managing the day-to-day flights for them, right? And you could never imagine the captain of Delta Airlines flying all day and then coming back to the scheduling shop and repairing the schedule for the next day, right? But unfortunately, in the Air Force and the US Navy, it's the pilots, the fighter pilots, who are extremely expensive assets. They are managing these flights on a day-to-day basis on very antiquated systems. So they don't have a lot of automation. They don't have a lot of intelligence to assist them in the day-to-day operation management. So that's kind of the genesis of how we got started.
Okay, so you were slowly able to work with them and integrate into what they were doing, and they were able to test it. But how is this improving the everyday lives of these fighter pilots?
We started with fighter pilots and their requirements around flying these fighter planes like F-16, F-35, and A-10s. And then we have now scaled it to different types of aircrafts like the bombers and the cargo planes as well. So the biggest pain point that they had was when you think about flight schedules, you have to manage a lot of assets. You have to first make sure the airplane is in place. You have to make sure the crew is scheduled. You have a lot of legalities to manage. And you have to make sure the maintenance is able to support you, do the right weapons load and such. The air range is extremely tight. There's often shared with the commercial aviation and border patrol and law enforcement. So all these assets are extremely expensive, and you have to perfectly place them together, that plan for the next few months. But when it comes to the day of operation, that's when you have a bunch of disruptions. You will have pilots calling sick, or the maintenance cannot do a weapons load, or the air range you were promised cannot be given to you. So the whole house of cards collapses. And then on the night before, it's the pilots who are stuck in the shop till 11 p.m. repairing the schedule for the upcoming day, for the upcoming few days. And it's one thing to build a legal schedule, making sure all the compliance are followed and such. But then what they were not doing was optimizing it for the goal of the squadron, right? And that's where it becomes extremely complex, where the commander of the squadron has to balance a lot of priorities. How do you factor all of those in and make sure the schedule is legal and make sure nothing is out of shape for the upcoming few days? That was a challenge we were able to solve for them.
That's excellent. So what are the pilots saying about OpsLab's technology? How is it improving their lives?
So we are able to, at a very clear manner, quantifiable manner, save about 200 hours per squadron per month. And this is pilots' time, right? So now they can take that time and focus on staying combat ready and train, and which is what their true mission is. And the second part is we are also showing improvements in the training throughput. So you have limited number of airplanes, you have limited number of Air Force bases. So how can you increase your combat readiness by not spending more on these assets? And that's where we are trying to approach this problem from the schedule optimization lens.
Arun, can you talk to me about what operations you're participating in today?
Yeah, so we got started 5 years ago focusing on just the fighter pilots and their requirements flying F-16, F-35, and A-10 airframes. And from there, we were able to customize the platform to handle larger aircrafts like B-52, which have 3 compartments, up to 8 crew positions. And then we were able to move the efforts to cargo planes and such. And then now we recently, it's a pretty exciting update, we started working with unmanned aircrafts as well, the MQ-9 and the RQ-4 drones, which is a very interesting use case. And at this point, the platform is able to handle different aircrafts, but more importantly, it's able to handle different types of mission priorities. There are Air Force bases that are schoolhouses, where the main focus is to train new pilots and the graduate level pilots. And it's all syllabus-based execution. And their objectives are extremely different. And we are able to calibrate the algorithms at the squadron level to meet their objectives. And then we work with the combat operations units, where these pilots and air crew are performing a lot of continuation training on a daily basis to stay combat mission ready. And their objectives are extremely unique and complicated as well. And we are able to calibrate, again, the algorithms at the squadron level to optimize for their goals. And overarchingly, the feedback is extremely positive. We have a lot of iteration with these end users as we are collecting feedback from them. And the feedback is very positive on how much time we are able to save them and how much it is easier for them to run the operation on a day-to-day basis. So that is the very exciting part for us, is to take that feedback, take that excitement forward at the enterprise level.
Got it. So a pilot gets up in the morning, he has to prep with his crew before he gets in the aircraft. He goes on a mission, he probably comes back exhausted. And then today, people not using your technology have to still go back to the ready room and then do what? Spend like 3-4 hours for tomorrow?
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
yeah. So then they don't get home maybe until
10
8
p.m.,
o'clock.
11 p.m., yeah.
Right. So that's a very exhausting day. And then they're just supposed to do it over again the following day.
Exactly.
So this is not only, this is keeping the pilots safer, this is giving them a better quality of life, and this is making it, giving them back more time so that they're able to train more often to be better pilots overall.
Exactly. I mean, there is a problem of attrition as well. A lot of these pilots who joined the armed forces to fly, they didn't want to do this admin work. And a lot of times, because of poor work-life balance, they would leave the air forces and join the commercial airlines, right? Where they would never be asked to do that admin work. So definitely it's helping that cause as well.
Right. That's excellent. That's great how you're supporting these pilots where they really do need this support right now. They're put in some precarious positions at times. So
exactly.
Yes. Thanks for what you're doing, Arun. I really appreciate it. And the Tech Show will continue to follow you. And I'm sure that all the services will be using Ops Lab before we know it.
Thank you so much again. This was really exciting. Thanks for having me here.
We have to take a break, but there's more of the Tech Show right after this. Did you know that untreated AFib doubles the risk of mortality, including 5 times the risk of heart failure and almost 2.5 times the risk of stroke? Here's cardiac electrophysiologist Dr. Dedric Clarke with more.
What is atrial fibrillation and why is it so important to discuss? Well, atrial fibrillation is a cardiac arrhythmia in which the upper chamber of the heart goes from beating on average 60 to 90 beats a minute at rest to 300 to 500 beats a minute, sporadically and spontaneously. It is estimated that 1 in 4 adults will be impacted by atrial fibrillation within their lifetime. Untreated atrial fibrillation is associated with a 5 times higher risk of heart failure, a 2.4 higher risk of stroke, and a 2 times higher risk of sudden cardiac death. So it is vital that we not only detect AFib early, but begin to treat it to prevent some of these ill effects from happening. Now let's talk about how do you treat it. Well, atrial fibrillation is treated with medications, sometimes blood thinners, medications to control the rate so the heart rate doesn't go too fast, and medications to try to keep you in rhythm. Those are called antiarrhythmics. However, for patients who either cannot tolerate certain medications or have side effects of medications, and there's some patients who even in spite of that, their atrial fibrillation is still progressing. There is a procedure called a catheter ablation. And what a catheter ablation is, it is a minimally invasive, safe, effective procedure that is designed to isolate the abnormal electrical signals that is triggering AFib from the normal conduction system of the heart, therefore allowing your heart to stay in a normal rhythm. The procedure is safe and effective, although like all procedures, there's an inherent risk, and you can talk to your doctor to see if you're a candidate of it. Johnson & Johnson has a comprehensive patient resources that allows you to learn more about this. You can go to getsmartaboutafib.com to get more literature and to discuss and see if catheter ablation is an option for you.
There's no way around it. Our mobile devices are extensions of our lives, especially while traveling. Not only are our apps and travel itineraries and lodging addresses stored on our phones and tablets, we now can add our government IDs in some instances. So what happens when we enter customs or approach an international border and an official wants to search our phones? Well, our friends at PC Mag have some guidance on how to prepare. Your smartphone probably holds more personal information about you than any other device you own. So the last thing you'd want to do is hand over all that data to a stranger, especially when you're traveling internationally. The Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution prevents unreasonable searches and seizures of personal property, but the U.S. Customs and Border Protection has special authority to search devices crossing U.S. borders via air, land, or sea. U.S. citizens must be let back into the country, so if you refuse a search, agents can let you go home while keeping your phone. Foreign travelers can be turned away at the border if they refuse to comply. According to CPB, a basic electronic device search involves manually searching your phone. An agent can look through your device for just about any reason, but if they feel you or your data may be a national security concern, they'll ramp up the search, during which agents may connect other devices to your phone to view the data or make copies of it. As of now, border security officers cannot access your live cloud data, so it's smart to back up your device to the cloud before crossing the border. In the spirit of staying prepared, here are some suggestions for things to do to your device before you travel in or out of the United States. Log out of your accounts. If you plan to keep apps on your device, log out of them first. Border officials may be able to search your devices, but they must be in airplane mode, as per the CPB rules. That means that agents cannot access your data stored in the cloud. Disable biometric unlocks. Visit your phone's settings menu and disable face and fingerprint scanning, since officers can use those to force access to your device without much effort. This can be achieved by holding up the phone to the detainee's face to open it and the device, or physically place a person's finger on the device reader to obtain a fingerprint scan. Keep in mind that though an officer cannot compel you to enter your passcode or PIN, they can seize your device. They have tools that may be able to eventually crack the lock. Familiarize yourself with device data protection modes. Android and iOS have built-in remote wiping features, so it's easy to disable or delete all data from a confiscated phone remotely. Get to know these features in your device's settings now. Also, create a shortcut on your home screen to quickly wipe the device if necessary. This allows you to simply tap the shortcut and disable or completely wipe your device, depending on your preferences. Tell someone where you're going. It's a good idea to let family, friends, or even coworkers know where you're traveling to internationally. We have to take one final break, then we're back with Take My Money right here on The Tech Show. Stay with us. Now it's time for Take My Money, where this time we have something that promises to put a spring in your step without caffeine.
When adventure calls, there's only one answer. For those who want to go further, faster, stronger, Ascentiz, an exoskeleton that makes the most of every step you take. Assemble and wear in 5 seconds, customizable to your needs. With one click, switch between the H module and the K module. Going the distance never felt so easy. Reduce the risk of falls up to 40%. 66 pounds of relief with every step. 216 pounds of pressure, gone. The K module delivers up to 88 pounds of upward support. Make the most of your day with training mode to transform daily activities into targeted exercise. ACC mode, it's cruise control for your leg.
I would love this. I mean, not to like climb a mountain in a single bound, just to like sort of take a load off. You know, like I need to lose probably 20 pounds, but this holds so much weight, maybe it'll make me feel like I'm lighter, and therefore I would like, you know, burn the energy and I would get, you know, the weight off. So it's like a win-win. So Ascentiz, go ahead, take my money. And then I could just sort of sit here on my H and K systems, because I'd get both, because the H and Ks, they hurt so much. Thanks for joining us this week. Follow us at The Tech Show TV and join the conversation. Tech you later.